The first time it happened, I was 7 years old. We were at the store looking for dinner, and a white man, face red like a tomato with veins popping out of his neck, came over to us and told us to go back to Mexico. When he said that, I felt a punch in my stomach. When he told me I would be a cheap, pregnant whore, it felt like I got hit with the truck. The second time it happened, I had a teacher hold me after class in middle school. It was during lunch and I was already shaking because of anxiety, but she always made me feel apprehensive. I was sitting in the back of the class with her across from me, and our body language could tell you who had the power. She was sitting straight up with her head erect, and me? I was hunched over, hair over my eyes, and I was picking at my lips. I was zoning out when she called out my name. Maggie. In America, we look at each other in the eyes when we talk. I was born in America to Magdalena Carrera and Alfredo Ariza, and we have lived in St. Louis all of my life. They are the most supportive, influential people I know. I don't see my parents as just my parents. I see them as my best friends. But it wasn't always like that. There were times where I would go to my room for hours and not talk to them. It took some heavy bonding and growing up from my end to be where we are, just like any parent and rebellious teenager. Sorry, Mom. I love you too. Growing up, we weren't well off. I mean, we're not rich now, but we don't have to go to food banks or rely heavily on meals that only consisted of 2 things. Let me tell you though, I would eat frijoles and rice over caviar any day. We did struggle, but my parents didn't let that run our lives. Me and my sisters knew we didn't have a life full of gold and diamonds, but my parents sure made it seem that way. We didn't get whatever we wanted, but that just made us appreciate things more. Like when we would get excited over going to McDonald's because we couldn't do that often. In the long run, I'm going to get my bachelor's in nursing. I've seen the work nurses do and their dedication to their patients, and I fell in love with it. I know there's a place for me to be, and I know it's nursing. That's not my only goal. I want to study abroad while attending college, maybe Madrid or China. Because I'm curious and I want to keep growing, I want to learn about a different culture other than my own on a more personal level. I want to involve myself even deeper into community service because I know everybody needs help, but not everybody asks for it. I joined College Bound as a high school sophomore. When I first got involved, I discovered my love for community service. Every chance I got to volunteer, I did. At the crisis nursery, at Kingdom House, manning a water table at the Go St. Louis Marathon, and teaching disabled adults and kids how to swim. What I didn't know was how much College Bound would impact my life. I've met some amazing people in this program, including my best friend. I've had wonderful coaches each year, But let me tell you about Abby. If I ever had a problem, she'd ask me what she could do. She's not only said it, but proved she wasn't afraid to help someone with a really sensitive issue. Along with Abby was Zach. He's shown unbelievable dedication since I first met him, and I could honestly never thank them both enough for stepping in when I needed them the most. I look back at sophomore Maggie, and I really wish I could just hug her and tell her things were gonna change and to not beat myself up about it. I was too anxious for my own good. I wasn't taking care of myself or my grades. I was passing, but I knew I could and have done so much better. With the help of College Bound, that's what I did. I got motivated to actually want to do my work on time and to the best of my potential. I graduated from the top of my class from Central Visual and Performing Arts High School, and I wouldn't be where I am or where I'm going without College Bound. The last time it happened, I was on a college tour. I was speaking Spanish to my mom, and another parent decided that it was too much for her. English, please. I felt all the instances from before come back, but again, I didn't say anything. To her, at least. I continued to speak Spanish to my mom because it's our right. Something that startled me, however, was that my mom apologized and uncomfortably giggled at the woman. "Sorry," she said. It felt like I was underwater. How could she do that? She's the first person that always told me to have pride in where I was from and what I spoke, but yet here she was doing the opposite. I just wish that my mom could be as unapologetic as she taught me to be. As unapologetic as I'm going to be when I leave my parents' house to show them that they did the best job. I know what it's like to feel the anger. The heat on my cheeks spiking, making me feel like I have no control of the situation. With what I know now, I wouldn't wish that humiliation on anyone. Now I would deal with an act of discrimination in a different way. I would be the bigger person and talk to them like I want to be talked to. I've grown to where I don't cry in the face of the person. I do cry at times. Not because I feel personally attacked anymore, but because I can't believe this is still happening. The world we live in today believes it's okay for small-minded people to intimidate strangers. I want to live in a world where we can value cultural differences and coexist. My name is Magdalena Ariza. I will be attending St. Louis University in the fall, where I will be majoring in nursing. Thank you, Abby and Zach, for all your support. Gracias, ma y pa. Gracias por todo. Thank you. Thank you.